This week we're on day 11 of a 21-day backcountry stone sheep hunt. It's been a pretty rough go for us up to this point. On day 2, we lost our cameraman Cheese to a leg injury.
I have to call in an evac. Get me out of here.
And he was evacuated by emergency services. If losing Cheese wasn't bad enough, over the next week, Trav and I were socked in with bad weather and had nearly zero visibility.
We got a wall of fog, almost no visibility.
In the few fleeting moments of clear weather we did have, we managed to bump into some grizzlies.
They're super cool bears.
We saw a couple of moose and a pile of goats, but we have yet to see even one single stone sheep.
Just amazing to see that kid run around. It's just like no fear whatsoever.
So today we're starting fresh. We hiked our way up into a new range, and finally, we found the sheep.
About 6 o'clock now, and we kind of got up here. We found this real nice spot. We got a view of 3 different basins back here, so we're gonna set up camp. Probably the nicest dirt we found all trip. It's like beach sand, so I've got to do a bit of excavating, but should be nice and comfy to sleep on. Cool thing too, snow patch right here, so we should be able to get ourselves water pretty easily. Probably gonna camp out here, kick it in here for about 2 days. It's a little bit windy in there, so we kind of just nooked ourselves back here a little bit, just out of the wind. But as soon as we kind of climb over this, eyelids start going like this, and you lose your hat. So we're hoping wind's going to cool down a little bit for us, and hills are going to come alive with rams. And I'm talking big rams, big boys, where they flare. One of those Marco Polo styles. That's what we need today. What is it, day 11? Day 11, I haven't seen one sheep, so we're dreaming big, real big. Well, I thought I picked a nice spot out of the wind, but not so much. If I don't keep my head against this wall, the whole tent folds in, so it's gonna be a long night.
Now after a long and sleepless night, Trav and I woke up and found out immediately we made the right call to switch basins.
Alright folks, day 12 that we've been out here, and finally spotted our first sheep. It's a couple of ewes and lambs. They're bedded right up on the peak here. Feels good to finally lay eyes on some stone sheep, I tell you what. Yeah, a little bit of a morale booster. We're just kind of crossing the shale band here, making a bit of noise, and then they stood up on the peak, so we're kind of in a bit of a precarious spot, because if we keep going, we're gonna blow them out. They're pretty white compared to the rams. Rams are a bit darker, but they're definitely a lot easier to pick up. But they still blend in so well with this rock that we're in, just kind of like a gray and white rock.
Could be some younger rams in there, actually.
pretty heavy horned. Well, like nothing. I would say if they're rams, they're 2-year-old rams or 3-year-old rams, but 1, 2, 3, 4 for sure. I don't know if there's anything over the rise. It helps when we have sun and not fogged in. The animals seem to prefer the nice sun as well. They're just enjoying it on top of the ridge there.
Now, as the day progressed, it seemed like our tent was placed right in the middle of their travel corridor. We had animals coming in from every direction, coming to say hello. The first was a caribou, came into about 250 yards from us. We then peeked over the ridge behind the tent, and we had a 2.5-year-old banana ram come in so close we could barely fit him in the camera lens. But of all the critters who graced us with their presence today, my favorite by far was young Ramathorn.
Well, Trav and I are right at camp here at the tent, and we got young Ramathorn coming to check us out here. He's looking for his mama. She's not that way, buddy. She's that way. Looks like it's coming right down to us. It's only at about 30 yards. Kind of looks like he's looking for his mom. I think it's the same little lamb that we saw earlier today, just back here with the ewe. But kind of looks lost. He's just checking over every rock, looking for mama. It's morning of day 13 out here, and yesterday we saw some sheep, so that was cool. The wind almost ripped our tent apart again, setting it up, put some holes in it. Not good. Fortunately though, this morning there's no wind, but it's a nice wall of fog. So now that we're finally in the sheep, it's foggy. Hopefully this burns off in the next hour or so, and we get the glass. And 6 sheep in here yesterday. There's 4 of them are right on this knoll there as we were going to bed last night. So hopefully today's the day we kill a ram.
Once the fog finally lifted this morning, it seemed like we were turning up pockets of sheep in every basin we looked in.
I had my glass in here for 5 minutes. Picked up a ewe lamb on the far skyline there. They're just kind of milling about. They went from the ridge line up to the peak. I think I got some sheep here. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's pretty good. So there's 5 sheep. Well, maybe more, but at least 5 sheep there. 2 sheep here, and then there's 4 other ones in this basin. Still no legal rams, but there's a couple smaller rams. Just good sign.
As Trav headed up over the ridge to do his morning business and fill the peanut butter jar, so to speak, he picked up 2 rams on our ridge, headed straight for us.
Guess I just crawled in here. These rams are just bedded broadside. One's looking down valley, one's looking this way. They're chilling with young Ramathorn, the little ram that was at our camp last night. He's in there with him. He really must have lost his mom, I guess. They're right on a knob, and they're on this side of the knob. But you never know what's bedded on the other side of the knob, and I can't see it from there. So I'm really just trying to pick apart that whole knob that they're on. And we're gonna wait until they get up and they feed off somewhere to really confirm that these are the only rams in there and there's not just more bedded over the ridge. So take our time, keep watching them, and hopefully, magically, a big old brood appears from behind them. Alright, we just picked up 3 rams. They're far. They're about 4.5 kilometers in a straight line. And I mean, it's so hard to judge from this distance. You could see a lot of horn on one of them anyway. So I would assume it's a legal ram, but I don't actually know. The one on top, for sure, is short.
Yeah, he's just a little banana.
Yeah.
Maybe a 3-year-old.
And then the one that was below, like that other smaller one, I feel like was just as small. I don't even...
Yeah, I think so too. There went kind of what it looked like when he's walking there. It's hard to tell, but...
Yeah, so the two small guys, definitely both short.
Yeah.
Now, where's our big boy? He's a lot darker. You could tell he's just a more mature ram. He's bigger, darker.
It'd be nice if he stood right where they are.
Oh, I can't really tell how big his horns are up there in that skyline. I mean, they definitely sweep down below the yaw.
Yeah.
I don't know if they sweep back up above the bridge of that nose, though.
I don't know.
It's so hard to see at this distance.
Now, Trav and I studied this guy for about an hour, and we were no closer to figuring out if he was full curl or not. So we decided to break down camp and head in for a closer look. The valley we headed down was nice and grassy, but there was a few spots that were a bit tricky to get through, and this one in particular was a bit sketchy.
I got a sheep. Looks like a ram. Yep, it's a ram. He's right on that skyline. Hopefully it's just a lone ram and not one of the 3 that we hiked all the way over here for, because really don't want to go up another mountain just to see if the ram's legal.
So it seems like the sheep that we saw earlier is one of the 3 rams. Once we got up on top of this knob here, we can clearly see there's a solid trail. Gets down to that ridge and then gets up on the high point where we saw them. So for them, not much of a jaunt in the afternoon. It's only maybe 2K around. I was worried maybe that they spotted us, but now that I'm up here, it's nearly impossible that they would have saw us. I mean, I could barely see our tent from up here. So, but we're on a really nice high point here. Our campsite is just down there at the lake, and I mean, I could see 7 or 8 different basins from here, so it's a really nice glassing vantage. So we're gonna glass here for the rest of the evening, and we'll see. Maybe turn up some more sheep.
Well, I got 2 rams spotted. I got a feeling like it's the 2 rams that we saw by camp either yesterday or the day before. I can't remember. One's pretty flared out, wide. The other one's kind of more compact. They both look short, light in color. Kind of reminds me of the 2 that we saw by camp, but they're feeding their way towards us, so maybe they'll make it to our basin, and maybe we'll see them tomorrow or later on tonight and have a better look at them. But Mr. just over the mountain here, and I'm gonna get him just so he can have a look at them and see what he thinks. But that's kind of what I'm thinking there. It's the same 2 rams from the other day. It's not the 3 rams that we saw this morning on this mountain here, so it's a good sign that there's rams all around here. We haven't seen any ewes or lambs, so maybe we're on Ram Mountain. Ah well, stay tuned.
Well, we just picked up a goat, and didn't really want to hunt any goats on this trip. But seeing as we're not killing any rams and we got a long pack out ahead of us, it'd be nice to, and we're almost out of food. Might be nice to get ourselves some goat meat. So we're gonna leave them here for tonight and see what tomorrow brings. But if we don't get any ram killed tomorrow, just might have to target this goat. It's a lone billy. Looks pretty decent. Good enough for me anyways. and he's pretty accessible. He's only just right over that rise there, maybe 500-600 yards. So we'll see what happens, but for now we're gonna leave him be. But tomorrow or the next day, once we start getting desperate and hungry, goat might be looking pretty good at that point. So keep an eye on him for now. Morning everybody, day 17, and today's a good day to change out the undies. So I'm putting on a new set. It's got some mountains. I'm really hoping these guys are gonna do the trick today. Change out some undies, find ourselves a ram. But here's what 17 days does to a set of undies. They're buttless. Chaps pretty much by this point. Front, still pretty good, they held up. But the back are just gonzo. That's a lot of sitting. A lot of glassing time on these, I guess. But out with the old, in with the new. And hopefully changing these up gets us a ram. I mean, it works 6 out of 10 times every time.
6 out of 10 times.
So it looks like the new underwear are working already. I haven't been out here 5 minutes. I just picked up a lone Billy. He's only 500-600 yards away. And as much as I didn't want to take a goat on this trip, and I really wanted to get a ram, we're down to 2 days of rations left. And we've been rationing hard. Not eating much food, and we still got a big pack out of here. So I think we're gonna kill this goat. Just threw the pack on so we can go get this Billy. And 2 rams just came up over the ridge above us. Just getting some eyes on them here. I don't know if they're legal or what they are. I can just see the horns here coming down. So I guess we're gonna wait a minute here and get some eyes on these things. See if these are shooters, because if there's a shooter up there, we're definitely going for the ram. Whew, new undies, I tell you, new undies. When he turns his head sideways, I mean, he's super flared, but from this distance, if he's lifting his head a bit, the curl passes the tip of his nose. I like the bridge of his nose. When he's not doing that, it doesn't. I don't know. We gotta get closer. Closer. The more he moves around, the more I think maybe he might be legal, but I don't know. BC, just for those of you at home who don't know, a ram, in order to be legal, needs to be at least 8 years old. You can verify that by counting the annuli on his horns. Or he needs to be full curl, meaning that the tip of his horn has to pass the bridge of his nose at right angles, which means you got to be looking at him square. Right now we're looking at him, he's on top of a mountain, so it's not square. Hopefully he keeps walking down here and just walks right into our laps. Well guys, as reluctant as I am to say this on day 17, looked at that ram pretty good, and he's not gonna cut it. He's not full curl, doesn't pass the bridge of the nose, and all I can count is 7 annuli. So, unfortunately, it's not a legal ram. That sucks. But that's sheep hunting.
Once we made the call that this ram was short, it didn't take us long to get set up on the Billy. We hiked up through the basin and snuck through a couple of rocks, and he stayed bedded there until we could get set up at just a few hundred yards out.
He's just right over the ridge now. He's at about 320. Once we get right to this flat section in front, he should be just under 300 yards. The goat's at 266 yards right now.
So I'm gonna try and get set up here. Hopefully this rock's flat enough, it works. But he's still bedded, no idea we're here. Okay, you're on. Clear. Everything's good. Okay, I'm gonna take him.
That's a dead goat. You hit a little high. I would go down to MOA. I think he's gonna die there, but if you want to, throw another one in.
I don't like watching animals suffer, so.
I think it was mainly nerves.
Yeah, probably.
But it's still, I don't like watching that.
Yeah, me neither. He didn't even take a step, dude.
As Brett Daniels would say, didn't go 20.
Didn't go one. Just fell over.
Yeah. Nice shot.
Thanks, dude.
We got some meat.
We got some freaking goat meat, man. I'm stoked.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. Well, good.
Done. Good job, dude.
Feels great to have some meat down. Or have something down, man. What on?
Man, we are gonna eat like kings tonight.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too, and I'm real stoked that we got a snow patch right here. We can cool that meat off.
That nice breeze today too, get that crust going on it.
Yeah, we seen this goat last night. Pretty sure it's the same goat anyways.
It's gotta be.
He was just on the other side of this. And we said it yesterday, just might be having to switch gears to go after your goat. And I mean, this morning he just came right over here and bedded up, nice and close to camp, so we figured, what the heck. Those other sheep are still just hanging out right there, just watching us. Taunting us. Cool way to end the trip though. I mean, not the giant stone we were after, but it's always nice to end on a high note. And now Lynn isn't gonna serve me up for dinner now. I mean, if I came home after 17 days with no table fare, she just might gut me and throw me on a freaking plate. So,
well, she likes goat too, you said.
Yeah, she loves goat, man. I like goat too, but she really likes it a lot. So,
oh, that's great. Goat curry.
Yeah, goat freaking, she makes like lots of Indian food with goat. It's just so nice, so good. Well, I think maybe we should go get our hands on this thing, man.
I think so. We got a little bit of a
there's kind of a cliff there, eh? So stay above it. I'm stoked he didn't go anywhere. He just dropped.
Yeah, head flopped over and that was it.
Same as last year, man. Goat, that one just like didn't even move. This guy kind of just rolled and dropped.
Yeah. I thought you missed, but then I saw his head hanging. I'm like, oh yeah, no. Christensen arms.
Yeah.
Goat down.
This gun did its job on this trip. Put him to sleep. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate your sacrifice, man.
He's got about, I don't know, say 9-inch horns. Pretty nice goat. I'm not too picky. We're just kind of in it for the meat, to be honest, but still nice to get a mature goat. He's big. It's gonna be a heavy pack out with this guy. My shot placement there, just for anybody wondering, he was bedded, so I kind of put it right through here, got it right in the neck, snapped his spine immediately, and he just kind of dropped over. Pretty happy with this guy. You know, it would have been really nice to get ourselves a ram while we're out here, but goat is a heck of a second place. And like I said, we're hungry. We need to eat some meat. Trav and I are tired of rationing, so at least for tonight we'll have ourselves a big old feast, and tomorrow we're gonna pack out of here. So looks like some rain's coming in, so we're gonna get set up here and start breaking them down and get them packed back down to camp. Well, that, my friends, is one nice hunk of meat. I am freaking stoked to eat this. Okay, so we are packing out a full goat hide. Not making this easy for ourselves. We got about 20K pack out of here, full goat, and we're packing a hide. Lynn really wants a full body mount goat in the house, so can't deny a wife. Yeah, don't go this way. All right, well, we're pretty much at camp. We're not gonna put the meat right at camp just in case of bears, but we're just gonna splay it out all on these rocks. It's cold enough that it should just stay dry and stay cool until we pick it up in the morning and pack it out. So we left the meat out all last night and a bit here this morning so we can get that nice crusty film on it. So that'll make for easy packing. What the heck? We're missing a chunk. There was 2 pieces here. What? Yeah, I think something might have grabbed it. Okay. Well, I don't know what grabbed it. Doesn't stink. Oh well, a little dirty, but
Does it look like you've been eating or no?
I don't think so. I don't think it's, maybe a bird might have tried to snag it or something and dropped it. Realized it was too heavy. Oh well, give that a clean, but this one must have got grabbed last night. It doesn't have that film on it too much. So, as I was saying, this meat, you can see, it's kind of a good example, has a real nice crusty film on it now. But this doesn't, because it's been sitting down there in the shade. But this has, once the wind gets to it, it makes this nice crust, and then it packs out really easily. So when you're putting quarters together, the quarters are cold, they're not warm, and so they're not going to be getting that, like a lot of times you put warm quarters together, the meat will heat right up, and then it's just, you know, you kind of lose some meat. So this way you don't lose any meat, and it makes it for really easy packing, and it's clean. Like dirt won't stick to it once it's like this, but as you can see, dirt, branches, leaves sticks to meat before it gets that film on it. So we're gonna get packed up, thrown in the load cells, and start making some tracks.
Now Trav and I decided to omit eating the goat last night so we could hit the sack early and get up early so we could make the trek out of here and still have time to relax before our pickup. Today's one of those days I'm happy that we trained before we come out hunting. We hiked for just over 10 hours straight and hit a total distance of 20 kilometers. Our packs were weighing in at just over 85 pounds apiece, and some points we got through some pretty rough stuff. We crossed slides chewed up by avalanches. We hiked up steep jaws covered in fire-burned deadfall, and then of course, there was the river crossings. But finally, we made it to our last creek crossing, with just enough time to start a fire and satiate ourselves on some of this delicious goat meat.
Alright, so we just rigged ourselves up a bit of a fire pit here, and we're gonna get this goat cooking. I'm gonna go get some wood here and we'll get a fire going so we can get some coal going while I get to cooking. We're gonna be cooking these things kind of on a stick, so I'm gonna make a little bit of big chunks here. All right, so we got this goat all cut up here, and I brought a couple different things on this trip. So just some pretty standard barbecue sauce, and then I got this really hot mustard that we're gonna use as a dipping sauce, so I'm excited about this. Hopefully it didn't go bad sitting in the sun. Well, we didn't really have too much sun, but hopefully it hasn't gone bad so far. And then we're gonna grill them up. I brought a whole thing of chipotle mango, so we're gonna get these guys seasoned to a crisp. So we're gonna douse them in barbecue sauce, season them up with chipotle mango, and then we got some hot mustard just to dip. I think we're in for a treat. Now we got them all smothered up in this barbecue sauce. We're gonna go very, very liberal with this seasoning here. I want like a nice crispy outside on these things. The barbecue sauce is gonna help just kind of bind it all together, make sure that the seasoning doesn't just fall off as soon as it gets on there. Oof, I wish you guys could smell this. This smells delicious already without even cooking it. Can't forget any of that spice on the rock there, eh? Gotta get that all. Okay, so I got all these things all dusted up with seasoning, and now all we're missing is some sticks. We're gonna skewer these things up and put them over the fire. Those coals are pretty well ready. They should be throwing off some pretty nice heat. We're gonna cook these puppies up to medium rare. So I'm going for a nice green sapling here. That way it doesn't burn when we have it over top of the flames. There you go, and that should do the trick for the old meat stick. All right, so we got it all set up on the shish kebab stick here. I'm just gonna keep my eye on this thing, and I'll just be rotating it every minute or so. So I want it just to be nice and crispy, but I still want to hit that medium rare, so that's what we're after. I got all the bigger chunks set up on this end so we can quickly eat the small ones as they come ready, because they'll be ready first. Well, these things look pretty darn close to ready right now. Some of the bigger ones might still be a little bit raw inside, but I'm gonna take this thing off and give it a taste here. It smells really good. So, give this a whirl. Okay, so this smells delicious, but I think with this little hot mustard, I'm real excited to try this. It's like sweet and hot. Sounds delicious. And I think this meat's gonna be super spicy, so it's gonna be a real nice little combination. That's pretty good. We've been busting our asses out here. Almost no food left. We've been rationing for days and days and days. So this is just, I could probably eat something that was burnt to a crisp right now and roll in the sand and think it was delicious, but actually This is pretty darn good. Gonna bring back some much needed energy. Chipotle mango seasoning, kick ass with a little bit of barbecue sauce and some sweet hot mustard. I mean, you just can't go wrong. Anything that's sweet and hot and meat, you got me. I'm sold. It's pretty solid. So, Trav, one piece.
Next time on Alpine Carnivore.
Where should I shoot him? Mitch quartering. He's quartering towards me.